Hi, today we are looking at the second book to launch under the From the Ashes banner, and it is a solo title written by Stephanie Phillips and drawn by Alessandro Miracolo. It is Phoenix issue 1. If you are in need of refreshing your memory or to catch up on what happened during the Age of Krakoa, please check my previously on Krakoa Jean Grey video. I'll provide the link in the description box below and also somewhere up there. And on that note, on to the review. Full spoilers ahead, so you're forewarned. Jean is out in space and saving the universe. She stabilizes a dying sun as well as a black hole to save a planet and an intergalactic prison, respectively. As a first issue, this sets up a couple of things: a recurring villain or two, a sneak peek at what's to come on the final and bonus page, and a bit of a reason for her to be in space from Adani's narration, though Jean seems a little unsure as to what is the exact reason she's out in space. It threw me off on the first read that the narration was not Jean's inner monologue, but instead it is from the perspective of a new character, Adani, and I'm not sure if that alienates me or serves as a audience surrogate. Hi, future Tyler here. I think it serves as a surrogate for new readers jumping on to this book, explaining a little bit of Jean and her powers as well as some of her backstory. It is not a bad way to do it, but I agree that this is definitely a setup and intro issue. So on that basis, this issue did its job. The question is it entertaining? I'm not too sure after the first read. I think it is in the middle for me after reading it twice. A lot of this also stems from unfamiliarity with the other characters apart from Phoenix and Scott for me. That said, I really like the Phoenix and Scott part. Phillips nailed the interaction, and the voices felt right and sort of continues from the Infinity Comics Eversong quite well. I agree. Scott is still needy, a little bit overly needy if you ask me, but in general the voices are on point. There were also several instances of Jean basically just reading thoughts from Nova without realizing it, which is a little concerning, right? Apart from these three, the other characters do not get much airtime except for Adani, which is a new character, so her voice cannot really feel wrong. Art-wise, I really like it. Miracolo delivered on the expressiveness of the characters, both facially, such as when Phoenix was having a telepathic chat with Scott, and also in body language, such as when Phoenix was stabilizing the black hole. Yeah, Phoenix dancing as she stabilized the black hole reminded me actually of the time she toured around the kitchen and changed her outfit with each pirouette in the original Dark Phoenix saga. I also like the consistency of the kitchen in the factory across the two From the Ashes books. There is the frame Home Sweet Home cross stitch, and it is also consistent down to the placement of the two cereal boxes on the fridge itself. I do have some, I would say one minor nitpick in the art though. In some of the action scenes, I'm not quite sure what happened. For example, the fight with Morg. The Jean stopped him telekinetically before he struck Nova. Yeah, I'm not too sure even on the second read. It could certainly be made clearer. I also have to give a shout out to Corey Petit on the many distinct word bubbles, the colors, and the effects in this one issue. The usage of long time no punch is a play on the phrase like long time no see, which I initially thought was used only in Singapore as a direct translation of the Mandarin phrase 好久不见. But apparently, that is not the only origin of the phrase, which was kind of interesting. Do you have any other thoughts? The last time we saw Nova in an X book, he jumped in front of a pestilence arrow that was meant for Storm during the civil war on Araco and was grievously injured. I assume that was the coma he just woke up from. So, in conclusion, I would give this a 3.5 out of 5. Average story, boosted by great art and great character voices. Yeah, I agree. I think this is a must read for fans of Phoenix, and even if you are not, it is still worth checking out. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and comment. Tyler out.